You know, it's a situation almost every small business owner or manager has faced at some point, yet very few talk about the messy aftermath. You let someone go. Maybe they resign, maybe their contract is up, or maybe you had to make the genuinely tough call to fire them. In that moment, your head is entirely in the human side of the equation. You're prepping for the handover, you're navigating an awkward conversation, and honestly, you're just trying to get through their last day as smoothly as possible. But here is the blunt truth. While you handled the human side of their departure perfectly, you completely forgot to revoke their digital access.
So, what exactly happens when the physical desk is empty but the icons are still glowing? The physical reality is that the person is gone, but the digital reality? The logins for their email, your company's shared cloud drives, the accounting software, all those connected third-party apps, they are all still quietly live. Weeks or sometimes even months after an employee walks out the door, their access to your most sensitive information is just sitting there. And the scariest part? Nobody is even thinking about it. Because as far as the business is concerned, the offboarding is done. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Except their access isn't.
Section 1. Why offboarding gets skipped.
It really comes down to built-in momentum. Think about a typical onboarding checklist. Every single box gets beautifully ticked. You set up their email, you add them to the CRM, you order the new laptop. Onboarding has a natural energy to it because a new hire literally needs things to work so they can do their job. You make absolutely sure they get them. But an offboarding checklist? It's usually completely blank. Offboarding completely lacks that built-in urgency. When someone leaves, you don't get a glaring daily reminder that they still have access to some random marketing tool. The overarching assumption in the office is simply, well, they're gone, so it's done.
Understanding how that access got so tangled up in the first place is crucial. Look, in small businesses, access is rarely this clinical, hyper-organized thing. It's informal. It happens on the fly. You shout across the room for the Wi-Fi password, you pass a login around on a sticky note, or an employee just uses their personal email to sign up for a quick online tool because, hey, it was faster than setting up a company alias. Because of all this informal access, there's no central master IT directory. And if you don't have a master list, you have absolutely nothing to consult when it's time to take that access away. You simply can't revoke what you don't remember granting.
Section 2. Where access actually hides.
We really need to talk about hidden access. Think of your company's digital footprint like a massive iceberg. Disabling their standard company email and shutting down their main login to the primary accounting system, that is just the tip of the iceberg visible above the waterline. Checking those boxes gives you a profound but very false sense of security. Because the real danger, the hidden access, lurks deep below the surface. We're talking about dangerous, completely unmonitored digital entry points lingering out there in the wild.
Let's break down these highly preventable risks that make up the bottom of that iceberg. First, unexpiring shared cloud links. Maybe you sent them a Dropbox or Google Drive folder a year ago, and guess what? That link is still active. Second, the company's Slack or Microsoft Teams app is still happily logged in on the personal smartphone sitting in their pocket. Third, third-party apps, like a scheduling tool or a CRM, where the admin login was actually set up using their personal email address. Or, perhaps the most unsettling one, a remote access tool installed on their home computer for just one weekend project that nobody ever bothered to uninstall. None of these ever show up on a standard offboarding checklist.
Section 3. Worked example, Clearview Accountants.
The story of Clearview Accountants starts with an invisible shortcut. The firm had to let go of a junior bookkeeper after a series of performance issues. By all accounts, the partners did everything totally by the book. HR handled the difficult conversation highly professionally. IT did exactly what they were supposed to do. They disabled her company email and her login to the main accounting platform that very same afternoon. By every visible measure, her offboarding was a complete success. But what everybody completely missed was a shortcut she took months earlier. She had been tasked with setting up the firm's automated client invoicing tool. To get it done quickly without bothering a manager, she just used her personal email address as the account owner.
Let's methodically walk through the timeline of how a mistake like this actually unfolds. On day 1, the bookkeeper is fired, the main email is disabled, and everyone at Clearview breathes a heavy sigh of relief and moves on. Month 1 goes by without a hitch. Month 2 passes. Month 3. For an entire 4-month gap, this dormant access just sits there, completely forgotten. The desk is empty, but the system is alive. Then we hit month 4. The automated invoicing tool, doing exactly what it was programmed to do, suddenly fires off a fee reminder to one of Clearview's major clients. The fatal flaw here? The reminder contained completely outdated and incorrect fee information.
You can probably imagine the atmosphere at Clearview when a very confused, very unhappy major client calls the partners to complain about this bizarre invoice. The team absolutely scrambles. They realize the error and they rush to log into the tool to stop the automated emails. But they hit a brick wall. When they look at the system status, they see the invoicing tool is active, but the account owner is the former employee's personal email. Clearview suddenly realizes they have absolutely zero administrative access. They cannot log in, they cannot stop the emails, they are entirely locked out of their own client-facing system.
And this predictably leads to the hostile chase. Clearview is now in the humiliating position of having to beg a former employee to hand over the keys to their own system. Let me tell you, there is truly nothing quite as humbling as having to draft a polite email asking someone you just fired for a password. And remember, she was let go for performance issues. She is not exactly inclined to be helpful right now. She ignores their emails. She sends their calls straight to voicemail. A simple 15-minute offboarding task has now morphed into a weeks-long legal and operational nightmare, all while incorrect invoices continue to threaten their core client relationships.
Section 4. The offboarding fix.
So how do we actually prevent this? The real fix to this problem isn't about creating a better firing process. The fix starts long before someone's last day. It requires creating a living tool inventory. This is a continuously updated, living document that lists every single piece of software, every app, and every tool your business uses, alongside exactly who holds the keys to it.
It's a dead simple concept. You have the tool on one side and the account owner on the other. When someone gives their notice, you don't have to guess what they had access to. You systematically reassign owners. You transfer that invoicing tool to a company admin before the departing employee ever leaves the building. This simple list transforms into your foolproof offboarding checklist. It takes maybe 15 minutes to calmly reassign owners while they are still on payroll, rather than triggering a multi-week chase after they are gone.
Let's detail the step-by-step transition of how to actually put this into practice on someone's final day. Step 1. Open your living tool inventory and filter by their name. Step 2. Revoke their primary email and main system access. Step 3. Crucially, reassign all third-party tool ownership before they walk out the door. Step 4. Force disconnect all personal devices from company networks and communication apps. If Clearview accountants had simply checked a list like this on that bookkeeper's last day, they would have caught the invoicing tool immediately and saved themselves from a completely avoidable client nightmare.
Section 5. Before someone's last day. Treat these 3 critical questions as a final sanity check for your own operations. Number 1. Do you currently have a full tool inventory and an owner's list? Like if I asked you right now, could you produce it? Number 2. If an employee departed this afternoon, could they still access anything from their personal phone or home computer? And number 3. Is your offboarding a rigorous, documented checklist, or are you just relying on your memory in a highly stressful moment?
Onboarding gets a checklist because you're building something. Offboarding needs one too, because you're taking something apart. Dismantling digital access requires exactly the same amount of architectural care as granting it in the first place. So, as we wrap up this explainer, ask yourself, if your most disgruntled former employee decided to log in right now, what exactly could they still see?